In the West Pennine Moors, about 12 miles northwest of Manchester, near the town of Bury, lies a thriving market town, wrapped in beautiful Victorian architecture and steeped in industrial history. The surrounding skyline is dominated by the Peel Monument, which stands on Holcombe Hill as a memorial to Robert Peel, the 19th century Prime Minister and founder of the modern British police force. Hundreds of locals climb the hill every Good Friday, some of them continuing the tradition of egg rolling before starting the climb. Another popular attraction is the East Lancashire Railway, which was thankfully restored in the late 1980s from a section of original track which once linked the town to the rest of the rail network. Interesting events often take place in and around the station, including an annual wartime weekend in which people from all over the place meet, dressed in traditional 1940s attire, including army officers and soldiers. There's even a battle reenactment on the railway line. The place we're on about is Ramsbottom. Its name derived from two Old English words basically meaning Valley of the Ram. The town obviously has much in the way of history, but what about the people? Do they continue the traditions as historic as the buildings and monuments themselves? We decided to find out by sending our man on the street to investigate.
So here we are at the 2012 World Black Pudding Throwing Championships. The first thing you might think is, what is a black pudding? Second of all, why would you want a world championship promoting the throwing of a black pudding? Well, that's what we're here to find out. In the background, as you can see, is Ramsbottom, which is a town in the north of England, not far from Manchester. And the idea of today is to find out what it's all about, and even more, what the strange event is. And also pick up some interesting accents as well. So let's take a look.
It seems that the crowd are throwing some kind of local delicacy at this poor bugger stood on some scaffolding. Could it be some kind of medieval punishment? After a quick chat with one of the locals, I was reliably informed that it was in fact a Yorkshire pudding. So what's one of them then? The humble Yorkshire pudding has been a component part of fine British fare for centuries. It consisted of a simple batter, poured into moulds and then baked. When wheat flour began to come into common use for making cakes and puddings, cooks in the north of England devised a means of making use of the fat that dropped into the dripping pan to cook a batter pudding while the meat roasted in the oven. Nowadays, the Yorkshire pudding is a staple of the British Sunday lunch, and in some cases is eaten as a separate course prior to the main meat dish. This was the traditional method of eating the pudding and is still common in parts of Yorkshire today. Because the rich gravy from the roast meat drippings was used up with the first course, the main meat and vegetable course was often served with a parsley or white sauce. So the poor bugger in question is in fact a Yorkshire pudding on a scaffolding and not a bloke. But why are people throwing someone at it? And what is this thing that's being thrown?
Black pudding.
Sorry, say again, love.
Black pudding.
Black pudding?
Black pudding.
Black pudding? Black pudding? What's all that about? Now then, black pudding is considered a delicacy in many parts of the UK, but in particular the North West, in the towns of Bury and Ramsbottom where we are today. The main ingredients of a black pudding are congealed pig's blood and oats, and in the past it was occasionally flavoured with a traditional culinary herb called pennyroyal. Folk can eat it uncooked or it can be grilled, fried or boiled in its skin. Black puddings are usually served sliced and fried or grilled as part of a traditional full breakfast throughout the UK and Ireland, a tradition which followed the emigrants around the world and is now part of the local cuisine in Australia, New Zealand and the Canadian provinces of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland and Labrador. Down, boy! So, back to Ramsbottom, and it seems that the local folk here are trying to knock the Yorkshire puddings off the plinth with black puddings. But why? What's it all about? Many people believe that this strange competition dates back to the War of the Roses, a series of battles fought between the supporters of two rival branches of the Royal House of Plantagenet, the houses of Lancaster and York for the throne of England, where others say it originated as a jovial lark-around between rivalling mill workers in the 19th century. Any road up. The original location of the competition was the Corner Pin Inn at a nearby village called Stubbins, where it stayed for many years until the pub closed, forcing it to move to its current location, the Oaks, on Bridge Street, Ramsbottom.
Hey!
Not only were the people of Bury and Ramsbottom talking about black puddings and Yorkshire puddings, they seemed to be more interested in the debate about what is a barm cake, or is it a tea cake, or a bread roll. And a young lad in a Manchester United shirt was walking up the street, so I thought I'd collar him as well and see what he thinks about the matter.
So you're a local lad then, ish. I see the Man United top, and I'm thinking, well, Manchester obviously, or surrounding area, or Bury, or what?
From Manchester, I'm from Bolton. I live in Bolton all my life, so yeah.
So black puddings, what are your thoughts? Have you eaten one? Have you thrown one?
I've never thrown one, but I have ate one. So yeah, I have.
And any good? Are they good, or are they a bit overhyped? But you like it?
If you get the right type, they're awesome. They're really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, really nice food.
I'm thinking, question I've been asking a lot of people today. If I was to say to you now, I'm a bit peckish, let's go to the chippy and get a chip barm, what would your reaction be to that?
Yeah, I'd go for that, chip barm cake, yeah.
And his partner was with him, this lovely young lady called Janice, so I thought I'd get her opinion as well.
A chip barm, what would your reaction be to that?
I'd say, yeah, I'll have mine with gravy.
So you know what it is?
Chip butty.
Chip butty, or possibly anything else? Is it a barm, something you say?
Oh no, we don't say barm. It's a chip barm.
It's a chip barm. I think it's a chip barm.
Muffin, chip muffin.
So you wouldn't say a muffin or a tea cake or a...
It's a chip barm.
It's a chip barm.
Oh no, we don't say barm.
I think it's a chip barm. That's what it's looking like.
Oh no, we don't say barm.
I'd have said a chip butty myself.
Chip butty or possibly a...
Chip muffin.
Muffin, maybe.
Maybe. Chip butty, really.
Chip butty.
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 Chip butty.